I'm Joe Connell. I'm principal with the Environments Group. And the Environments Group is a 65-person commercial interior design firm based in Chicago. Our work goes coast to coast. We're registered in 40-something states. Our clients take us to those states. We rarely do marketing outside of our Chicago region. But we end up going coast to coast because clients that have good experiences here ask us to go there. The focus of our work and our entire practice is our workplace. So our focus, our interest is really trying to help organizations and people be effective where they work. That usually is the so-called knowledge worker. It's usually an office, although we do have some projects that are showrooms, so 10 or 15% of our work is showrooms. It's mostly workplace, a little bit of higher education, but it's mostly office. Now, many would think that they'd be bored by the office, but the office brings pretty rich opportunity because the way we work changes frequently. How we work, where we work changes frequently, and accommodating lots of different behaviors and lots of different cultures ends up being the richer part of the problem. Not the workstation, not the colors and materials, or not even the corporate standards that we're working with, but really trying to find a way to make people more effective and let them have the best work life that they can have. So that is the essence of a commercial interior design firm, is to really work on effectiveness for workplace. I'm a principal at the Environments Group, and as a principal you have ultimate responsibility for the business of the firm and the firm's commitments to clients. So that is more of a legal definition. In terms of a role, it ends up heading up a studio. A studio is a collection of people working on a collection of accounts or a collection of projects. And how those clients or accounts come together is more mysterious. We do not have lines of business like airports and hotels and law firms. We tend to have a collection of accounts that follow us naturally. I tend to work on projects that have a stronger branding focus, more of a transformation of workplace like alternative office and unique space use. Green projects, very strong image and identity projects tend to be the ones that find me or that I find most interesting. The people that I work with vary as well. The folks that I work with in my studio work with other principals in the office as well. They each get to work with multiple principals in different studios, on different projects, and different assignments. So it's richer for them. And ultimately, when we're assembling a team, we're looking for the right mix of available people that has the best chemistry and brings their most relevant experience to that project for something unique and important and special to happen. My job is to choreograph those resources with the project and make sure that what the Environments Group is doing the right thing. That's ultimately what the principal is responsible for, making sure we're doing the right thing. What I like most about my job, and frankly about our industry, is that there's so much ambiguity. And I love the ambiguity. I like trying to figure out the process and the steps that'll help us get to an answer, to get to a favorable outcome or a favorable next step. So I work well with ambiguity, so that suits my role here and our side of the industry. What's most challenging about our job and our whole business is not managing the project per se, but managing people's expectations. There's always this balance between weighing resources or the means, the budget, the schedule, the expectations, and what their hopes and dreams are. And when we talk about three-dimensional solutions for something that doesn't exist yet and requiring a lot of visualization skills on the team's part and the client's part, what they have in their head versus what we have in our head or what we've drawn may never come in complete alignment until it's done. Managing those expectations is the hardest part. It's very detail-oriented, and it is not something we get to really test before it's done. I mean, that's also the most fun, is that it's still a surprise in the end every time. Even though we mentally walk through this space, we think we know every detail, there are always some little delights and some little things that we wish we could take back and revisit, or if we only had more time, those kinds of reactions are common. But even clients where we do repeat work with similar solutions city to city often don't understand that still every time, every space, every view, every orientation, every building is nuanced. It's different. So in some respects, one client said, what I get it, it's like building one car every time. We don't get to repeat it, like in big box retail where you just crank out the sheets and it goes. Every project has nuances and it's different, so it's like a prototype every time. Well, a firm like ours, and very few firms, are monolithic, so we're looking for a variety of skill sets. So when someone is coming out of school and they have a set of skill sets, they can't do it all, which is fine because no one firm needs one person to do everything. We do everything as a team. So there are parts of the team that are need to be expert in technical matters, some in client relationship and business matters, some that are great creative sparks, some that are great integrators, some that are gifted with concepts, some that are gifted with colors and materials and composition. So we need a composition of skills to really deliver well on a project. For people that are thinking about coming in this industry, my advice would be to learn as much about the industry as they can. They need to find ways through friends of parents, through school visits, through drop-ins at firms, through counselors, find a way to get inside the firm and find out what a day in the life or days in the life are in the firm. And find out if they like the pace of work, if they like if people are like things regulated and clear rules, it is not that kind of work life. It's not that kind of culture. It's much more ambiguous. It's much more on the fly. It's very entrepreneurial. And when you're in high school or you're young in college or right out of college, you don't know if you possess those skills or like that kind of work pace. The nature of the work is different in practice than it is in school. So internships and professional observation is essential when considering this career. And not just this career as an commercial interior design, but for architecture, landscape architecture, web design, graphic design, any visual communications. School experience is different than practice, and there's still far too much contrast, in my view, between the academy and practitioners. So anything you can do to start to bring those together while you're considering what side, not just if this is the business, but what side of the business is essential.